Welcome back to Myths, Legends, and Truths. And today we're going to talk about Azazel, the demon. But before that, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Azazel is one of the chief governors of the Grigori and the father of Hellboy. Azazel was once one of the chieftains of a group of fallen angels known as the Watchers, who later consorted and married with female humans. This blasphemous union resulted in the birth of the dreaded Nephilim. Aside from Samiza, he is the most infamous of the fallen Watchers and is the biological father of Hellboy, by way of mating with Sarah Hughes, a witch and descendant of King Arthur himself. A little background on him. Like his fellow Watchers, Azazel was once an angel that was without name and was one of the chiefs of the Watcher choir along Samiza. When Samiza was touched by the light of God and blessed with knowing God's ineffable name, he would use this blessing to bestow the proper names and functions to his choir. Azazel was the first one to be named and thus appointed as the second chieftain below Samiza himself. Azazel was then tasked to watch over the humans for several years to come, only it was not until Nema and the Nashiim's machinations that Azazel strayed from his original purpose. Azazel was said to be an eater of sins. He sat up on a hill, and the villagers would give over their sins with a goat and send that goat into the wilderness. Azazel would then devour the goat and the sins along with it. However, the more sins that he devoured, the more his hunger grew. Azazel was no longer content with the sins he received. He was spotted around the edges of the villages, whispering into the ears of mortals. As the Watchers began to lust for the mortal woman, Azazel, like his brethren, began encouraging people to do even greater misdeeds, and people overindulged even, and no one knew how to stop. Azazel was also the corrupter of man. He was cast out of heaven after he taught men how to make swords, knives, shields, and breastplates, and made known to them the metals of the earth and the art of working them, and all kinds of costly stones and all coloring tinctures. Because of this, the humans became corrupted and viewed themselves as invincible with such tools. The corruption brought on by Azazel and the Grigori degrades the human race, and the four archangels, being Michael, Gabriel, Raphael, and Uriel, were stated to have witnessed much blood being shed upon the earth, and all lawlessness being wrought upon the earth. The humans went so far as to demand the angels above to have an audience with God, and to raid heaven itself in order to learn the secrets of paradise and the ones that God holds. When God saw what Azazel's actions have wrought, he told Raphael to bind Azazel's hands and foot and cast him into the darkness, and make an opening into the desert and toss him therein. He would then place upon him rough and jagged rocks, and cover him with darkness, and let him abide there forever, covering his face, so that he may not see the light. Azazel remained in his prison for so long that the jagged rocks of Dul apparently tore his physical body away. He became a writhing mass of darkness covered in mouths and eyes. Azazel would eventually be freed by Lucifer and would join the demons in Pandemonium and Hell, where he would become the Prince of Shul, and eventually the master of the witches in Longshire and Abbotsbury. He and an English witch named Sarah Hughes created a cambion named Agnon Rama, who was destined to release the Odru Jahad from the outerverse with the right hand of doom, which was given to him by Mammon. In addition, both Azazel and Mammon held concerns over what would happen should Mundus assume his control over the secret fire. As a result, they agreed to conceal the power of Uriel within the right hand, acting as a container of sorts, and did so after Lucifer was usurped by Mundus. This, however, only served to cause outrage in hell, especially from Mundus, though he thankfully was unaware of the fact that the secret fire was contained within the right hand of doom, but was searching for it high and low nonetheless. Mundus punished those who were part of Azazel's little cabal and cast the fallen watcher into darkness. His son would be raised by the demon Ashtaroth and Aim until he was summoned to earth by Project Ragnarok. During Judgment Day, it is said that those who followed Azazel's ways by misusing the purpose of weapons such as swords would be cast into a lake of fire along Azazel himself.